Houston existed in two simultaneous rhythms. One was fast, loud, and rushed, where traffic along Interstate 10 thundered like a restless river. The other was slow and humid, stretching across long summer evenings where the air clung heavy against glowing windows. For Alana Briggs, both versions of the city shaped her life. Houston represented her struggle and her ambition, her past and her future. Alana had grown up on the south side near Alameda Road, raised by her hardworking mother and her uncle Benjamin Reed. Her father had passed away from a sudden illness when she was only 8 years old, and life shifted instantly. Her mother, exhausted from long night shifts as a nurse, often left Alana handwritten notes with encouragement and tender reminders of love. Her uncle Benjamin, a determined businessman who built his success brick by brick, stepped into the role of mentor and protector. Benjamin taught her that resilience meant more than surviving. It meant refusing to let any obstacle define her. He taught her humility, strength, and discipline. He taught her that she did not need shortcuts or special treatment to succeed. Through high school, through college, through internships, Alana worked tirelessly to build a career she could be proud of. When she applied for a position at Cobalt Dynamics, she kept her family connections secret. Benjamin, now the CEO and owner of the company, respected her request. Alana wanted to earn her place honestly, not through favoritism, and Benjamin admired that. He promised not to interfere unless absolutely necessary. She believed that would never be required. During her first month, Alana felt hopeful. She completed tasks with precision. She stayed late to support teammates. She built trust quickly with employees across departments. Her communication skills were excellent, her presentation skills polished, and her empathy unmatched. She wanted to make HR a supportive environment. Then came Claire Rockwell. Claire was a white woman in her late 40s, with sharp gray eyes that searched for weakness like a bird circling prey. Her hair was dyed ash blonde, curled tightly at the ends, and her heels clicked with an authority that she weaponized every chance she could. Claire prided herself on maintaining absolute control over her department. She liked order, she liked obedience, and she disliked challenges to her authority. From the moment Alana walked into Claire's department, Claire sized her up. It was subtle at first, just a stiff smile and a calculated pause. But Alana recognized something beneath the surface, a tension that felt too familiar for comfort. At first, Alana pushed the feeling aside. She greeted Claire warmly, offered support, and tried to work collaboratively. But Claire reacted to her competence as if it were a threat. The more efficient and confident Alana became, the more Claire seemed bothered by her presence. The hostility began with small criticisms. "Alana, your emails are too assertive. Please soften your tone." "Alana, you walk too quickly. It makes you seem anxious." "Alana, your facial expressions are intense. Try to smile more." Each comment was subtle, but the accumulation began to weigh on Alana. She felt as though Claire watched her every moment, waiting for mistakes that never came. Then the assignments changed. Claire began tasking Alana with responsibilities that did not belong to HR. She asked Alana to restock printer paper on all 3 floors of the building. She told her to clean out the storage closet and reorganize every shelf. She expected her to take out break room trash, sort outdated files, and manually rearrange resumes that the applicant tracking system could sort within seconds. "No one else has to do these things," Alana once said gently. Claire smiled sharply. "You need to show more initiative." Alana's chest tightened. "I am showing initiative." "You need to learn humility," Claire responded, brushing off her words. Alana began each day with growing anxiety. She checked her emails multiple times before sending. She rehearsed her greetings. She studied her own tone. She checked her posture in the restroom mirror just to avoid another comment from Claire. Her coworkers quietly noticed. Destiny, an HR coordinator, approached Alana one morning. "I see what she does to you," she whispered. "You handle your work better than all of us. She is targeting you." Marcus, another coworker, nodded in agreement. Stay strong. People see the truth. But silence protected them. No one wanted to become Claire's new target. Alana pushed forward. She had always endured hardship with grace, but the pressure chipped away at her strength. Each day drained her confidence a little more. By the time the Friday confrontation arrived, Alana felt like she was walking into battle. Alana! Claire called sharply across the floor. Conference room 3, now. Alana followed her, shoulders tight. Inside the conference room, a single paper lay on the table. Claire shut the door and flicked a glance at Alana that made her heart sink. This is a performance improvement form, Claire announced. You have failed to meet expectations, you have shown resistance toward tasks, and your attitude needs correction. Alana stared in shock. These statements are not true. They are true because I wrote them, Claire replied. Sign the form. Alana lifted the pen slowly. Then Claire muttered the words that froze her soul. You people always need extra supervision. Alana's hand trembled. Before she could speak, a deep voice echoed from the doorway. I heard everything. It was her uncle, Benjamin Reed, CEO, founder, and the one person Claire never expected to overhear the truth. Benjamin Reed stood tall in the doorway, framed by the light of the hallway behind him. His broad shoulders and calm intensity filled the small conference room instantly. His presence alone demanded silence. Anyone who worked at Cobalt Dynamics knew his reputation. He was fair but firm, patient but unyielding when confronted with injustice. He analyzed people the way a seasoned chess player studied opponents several moves ahead. No one in the entire building knew he was Alana's uncle. Benjamin had intentionally kept their family connection quiet at her request. She wanted to rise on her own merits. She wanted her work to speak louder than her bloodlines. Benjamin respected that fully. But at this moment, seeing the anguish in her eyes, Benjamin no longer cared about discretion. Alana froze, her breathing uneven. She did not know if she felt relief, fear, or both. Claire blinked, her confidence cracking. Mr. Reed, she said quickly, I can explain. Benjamin stepped inside, closing the door behind him with a soft but ominous click. He eyed the performance improvement form and then looked directly at Claire. His voice was calm, but beneath the surface was a quiet fury. Explain, he said. Claire swallowed. This meeting is simply part of a coaching plan. Alana has shown resistance toward constructive feedback. I needed to address her behaviors before they escalated. Everything here is based on documented performance concerns. Benjamin nodded slowly. Documented by whom? By me, Claire replied. I take my responsibilities very seriously. I make sure our department stays on track. Benjamin placed his hands behind his back. Before I address your documentation, I want to discuss the remark you just made. Claire's throat tightened visibly. Sir, I did not mean anything inappropriate. It was a simple phrase. Misunderstood. I said it in the heat of the moment. Benjamin raised an eyebrow. Misunderstood? Yes, Claire insisted. There was no racial implication. I was referring to younger employees, the ones who need additional guidance. That is all. Say the phrase again, Benjamin instructed softly. Claire glanced at Alana, then looked away. Sir, I do not recall my exact words. Benjamin leaned forward slightly, his voice lowering. You said, you people always need extra supervision. I heard you clearly. Claire's eyes widened. I would never intentionally use language like that. You know me. I have worked here for years. Yes, Benjamin said. And in those years, I have observed many patterns. Some are subtle, some are not. What I heard today was not subtle. Claire's voice started cracking. Mr. Reed, please understand. I have been under extreme stress. I never meant to belittle her. Benjamin's expression remained unreadable. If you never meant to belittle her, why assign her tasks no one else performs? Why require her to reorganize storage? Why ask her to complete facilities duties not tied to HR? Claire tried to regain composure. She needed to learn humility. She has potential, but she can come off as too confident, too strong-minded. I was trying to shape her into a better employee. Alana felt her stomach drop. Too strong-minded. A phrase she had heard used against black women her entire life. Claire wielded it like an accusation. Benjamin exhaled through his nose. So you punished confidence. You punished competence. And you punished her for being exactly the kind of employee this company needs. Claire took a shaky step back. Mr. Reed, she has been difficult. Difficult, Benjamin repeated. Yet she has one of the highest performance ratings among the junior staff. Her onboarding work is exceptional. She has received positive feedback from new employees and multiple departments. Claire's face drained of color. Benjamin continued. I also reviewed your notes from the last quarter. You blocked her advancement claims, you delayed her evaluation, and you gave her tasks below her pay grade. Explain that. Claire's breathing became shallow. I thought she needed structure. Benjamin nodded. Structure. Interesting choice of word, because what I see is targeted mistreatment. Claire stuttered. Sir, I did not know she was your niece. Alana felt her heart slam against her ribs. Claire had revealed the truth of her concern. Benjamin's stare sharpened. What difference would that have made? Claire clasped her hands desperately. If I knew, I would have been more cautious. Cautious, Benjamin repeated slowly. Not fairer, not kinder, not more respectful. Simply more cautious. That is your justification. Claire opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Benjamin lifted the performance improvement form with 2 fingers. This document is retaliatory, intentionally misleading, and grounded in bias. It will be destroyed. Claire gasped. Mr. Reed, please. I need this job. I support my family. I have responsibilities. Responsibilities, Benjamin repeated. Yet you abused your authority. You weaponized your role. And you created a hostile work environment. Claire's tears spilled, streaking her cheeks. Sir, please do not do this. Alana misunderstood. I can improve. I can fix this. Benjamin shook his head slowly. You cannot fix a pattern you refuse to acknowledge, and I cannot allow a manager like you to remain in a role that requires fairness. He stepped toward the door, then spoke firmly. Your employment with Cobalt Dynamics is terminated effective immediately. Claire collapsed against the chair, sobbing openly. Please, please, Mr. Reed. I can change. No, Benjamin said simply. You have had many chances. He opened the door slightly and motioned to security waiting outside. Escort her out and allow her to gather her belongings. As the guards entered, Claire stared at Alana with a mixture of anger, humiliation, and fear. Her voice was small. I never meant for this to happen. Alana did not react. She simply stood still as Claire was led away. The moment the door shut, Benjamin turned back to Alana. His expression softened instantly, the armor of authority melting away into something warm, something protective. Are you all right? He asked quietly. Alana nodded slowly, but her voice wavered. I think so. You should not have endured this, he said. Not for a single day. I am sorry you felt you had to prove yourself alone. Alana felt tears prick her eyes. I wanted to earn everything on my own. And you did, Benjamin said gently. You earned more than what she allowed you to have. He reached into his jacket, pulled out a navy folder, and placed it on the table. This is yours. Alana opened the folder with trembling hands. Her breath hitched. Inside was her promotion package. Senior Human Resources Partner. Her dream title. The role she had worked toward for years. Benjamin smiled softly. You were supposed to receive this months ago. Alana's eyes filled with emotion. She blocked it. Yes, Benjamin confirmed. But she cannot block your future anymore. Alana pressed a hand against her chest, overwhelmed. Benjamin stepped beside her. Come, we have more to discuss. He held the door open for her, and together they left the conference room that had once felt like a trap. Now it felt like the place where her life finally changed. The HR floor buzzed with uneasy silence as Alana and Benjamin stepped out of the conference room. Every employee pretended to focus on their work, but nearly all eyes flicked upward as Claire's trembling figure was escorted toward the elevators. Her sobs echoed faintly through the hallway, each step a dramatic collapse of the authority she once wielded so mercilessly. Destiny, who sat nearest the hallway, froze with her coffee halfway to her lips. Marcus pretended to type, though his fingers hovered above his keyboard. The room felt like a theater where every actor was afraid to break character. Benjamin guided Alana toward his office with a firm but gentle hand on her shoulder. He did not need to announce anything. His presence alone told the entire department that a shift had taken place, one impossible to ignore or reverse. The whispers would come, people would talk, but the truth had already begun to reveal itself. Inside the executive office, the atmosphere was drastically different. Unlike the cold tile of the HR floor, this room carried a warm scent of cedar, exposed brick walls, and a panoramic view of downtown Houston stretching far beyond the glass. The city below felt alive and unknowingly connected to the life-changing moment unfolding within its skyline. Benjamin motioned for Alana to sit as he closed the door behind them. Take a deep breath, he said softly. Let your body release everything it has been holding. Alana lowered herself into the leather chair. Her hands clasped together tightly until her knuckles whitened. For months she had carried tension like armor. Now the emotional weight of the morning pressed into her chest. Benjamin continued, effective immediately, Ms. Rockwell is no longer part of this company. Her leadership violated the values we stand for. Her treatment of Ms. Briggs was unacceptable. Gasps rippled through the room. Benjamin gestured to Alana. Ms. Briggs will now serve as Senior Human Resources Partner and Interim Department Lead. Destiny clapped first, then Marcus, then the rest of the team joined. The applause grew louder until it filled the room with something Alana had never felt before: validation. This department needed clarity, Benjamin said. Now it has it. He stepped aside, giving the floor to Alana. She approached slowly, her hands trembling, but her voice steady. I want to thank each of you, she began. The last few months have been difficult, but I stayed because I believe in fairness. I believe in integrity, and I believe in this department. She paused, scanning the room. From today forward, we will rebuild trust together. The room nodded as one, and for the first time since joining Cobalt Dynamics, Alana truly felt seen. As the applause in the meeting room faded, a wave of relieved energy swept through the HR floor. Alana felt it settle deep in her chest, warm and steady. The burden that had crushed her shoulders for months was finally easing. People approached her with tentative smiles, quiet congratulations, and nods of respect that had never been offered before. Destiny rushed over first. Alana, you were amazing. I felt everything you said. Marcus followed with a firm handshake. You earned this. Everyone knows it. Colleagues who once kept their heads down now lifted their eyes to her openly. Some looked ashamed, others looked inspired. A few just seemed grateful that the oppressive silence Claire once imposed had finally lifted. Benjamin watched all of this with a steadying presence, his arms crossed, his expression warm yet authoritative. He did not need to speak. His approval lived in his quiet pride. After several minutes, the crowd dispersed, returning to desks and tasks that suddenly felt lighter. The HR floor hummed with a new energy. The tension that once lurked in every corner dissipated like smoke evaporating in sunlight. Benjamin motioned for Alana to walk with him toward her new office. As they walked, employees made space for them, stepping aside instinctively. Someone held open a door. Another straightened their posture, trying to look busy. But the atmosphere was not fearful. It was respectful. Alana's heart beat faster as they reached the small manager suite at the end of the hallway. She had passed this office countless times before, always imagining what it must feel like to sit inside, to own space, to lead with authority. At those times, it felt like an impossible dream. Now her name was printed on the door. Senior Human Resources Partner, Alana Briggs. She ran her fingertips lightly across the letters. The moment felt unreal. She wondered if she would wake up to find herself back at her old desk with Claire demanding another impossible task. Benjamin opened the door and stepped inside first. "Come in," he said gently. Alana entered. Warm light spilled across the polished desk. The room smelled faintly of new furniture and cedar wood, the same scent Benjamin used in his own office. A small potted plant sat on the corner of the desk, its leaves reaching toward the sunlight as if eager to grow. A window stretched behind the chair, revealing a sweeping view of downtown Houston. The city looked different from here, less overwhelming, more achievable. Alana moved slowly across the room and touched the back of her chair. "This is really mine?" she asked softly. Benjamin smiled. "Every inch of it." She sat down. The leather hugged her shoulders as if welcoming her into a new era of her life. The weight of leadership settled over her, but it did not feel suffocating. It felt earned. Benjamin leaned against the desk. "You know, there is something you need to understand." Alana looked up. "You were never the problem," he said. "She was. Her insecurity, her bias, her fear. None of that belonged to you." A lump formed in Alana's throat. "You kept doubting yourself," Benjamin continued, "as if you were failing. But you were doing everything right. You showed restraint when others would have lashed out. You took criticism with grace. You maintained professionalism even while being pushed down. That is strength." Alana felt tears sting her eyes. "It did not feel like strength. It felt like I was disappearing." "You survived," Benjamin said. "And now you rise." Alana nodded slowly. "I want to do well. I want to be a leader people trust." "And you will," Benjamin assured her. "Trust your instincts. Your intuition is strong. Your work ethic is unmatched. People will follow you because they respect you, not because they fear you." Alana inhaled deeply. "I want to build a department where people feel safe, where they feel supported." Benjamin smiled. "Then begin now." A soft knock sounded on the door. Destiny stood there, holding 2 sparkling water cans. "I brought something for a toast," she said. Benjamin chuckled. "Perfect timing." Destiny stepped inside enthusiastically. "This is huge, Alana. You have been through so much. You deserve this moment." Marcus soon appeared behind her, holding another can. "Hope you do not mind me joining the celebration." "Come in," Benjamin said warmly. "This office belongs to a leader, and a good leader attracts good people." The small group gathered in the office. Destiny passed out the drinks and raised her can. "To Alana," she declared, "for rising above everything thrown at her." Marcus followed. "For proving that strength and integrity matter more than manipulation." Benjamin lifted his can last. "For stepping into the future she built with her own hands." Alana raised her sparkling water. "To better days," she said softly. "To better days," they echoed together. They clinked cans. The sound was small but powerful. It marked the end of an era. After a few minutes of light celebration, Destiny and Marcus returned to their workstations, smiling as they closed the door behind them. Benjamin lingered. "There is one more thing," he said. Alana looked at him curiously. Benjamin reached into his jacket again and pulled out a small access badge with gold edges. "This gives you clearance to all executive meeting rooms. You will attend leadership briefings from now on." Alana's eyes widened. "Executive meetings?" "Yes," he replied. "You are no longer a junior employee. You are now a leader who will influence policy and culture. Your voice will matter at the highest level." Alana felt a new kind of pressure settle in her chest. Not fear, not anxiety, purpose. "I will not let you down," she said. I know, Benjamin replied. You never have. He took a step toward the door. Settle in. Then meet me in my office at 2 o'clock. There are things you need to know about the department's future. I will be there, Alana said. Benjamin paused at the doorway. And Alana? Yes? You are not in this alone anymore. Then he left. The door shut softly. Alana sat alone in her new office, letting the reality sink in. For months she had lived under a suffocating weight, believing she was failing, believing she was flawed, believing she was too sensitive or too proud or too ambitious. But she had been none of those things. She had simply been targeted. Now she was free. She rested her hands on her desk. The surface felt cool beneath her palms, grounding her. Her breathing eased. The office was quiet, peaceful, and for the first time since joining Cobalt Dynamics, she felt like she belonged.